Well, hi babies, hi cuties, hi sweets, hi darlings. Hello. I hope this video finds you well. This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Whenever you find it, it is the right time because it is timeless. Have some coffee with me. I wanted to use this ridiculously small cup, so I brought the pitcher with me. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? This is a general message, so please take what resonates, leave the rest if I haven't already said that. I will never reach out to you for personal readings because I'm not doing them. And I wouldn't do that anyway, reaching out to you in such a way in the comments. Weird. So please report those people. That is hot. And let's get into it. I am so glad you're here. I'm so grateful for all of you. You are all wonderful. And I just hope this is an uplifting message for you. Okay. Clear messages that are aligned with only pure source. So these negative energies that like through mind control and all that weird stuff, like our, magic or whatever you want to, any sort of negative energy control to keep you small, it all affects your weak spots, right? So if you're feeling insecure or you have these insecurities about your looks or who you are as a person, your skills, all of that, your intelligence, that's going to attack that part of you. And those are opportunities to look at that and, dig a little deeper, like, where is this coming from? And then just release it. I mean, it's going to take several times because, like, some of these patterns and thinking patterns and just ways of living, habits, whatever it is, ancestral curses, whatever you want to call it, they're so deeply embedded that it's gonna have to be like a constant diligence on this until it's finally gone. So it will still keep coming up until it's finally just released and there's like no longer, but it's going to take several times, especially if it's really deep rooted. I'm going to pull an angel number on this first thing. "144 tried to pop out. $900 at the bottom of the deck. So we have 564. Release drama. Serve your highest good. You are being asked to let go of something in your life that no longer serves your highest good. Your angels are validating the situation or relationship is bringing you pain and a cycle of repetitive disruption. Your angels want you to lovingly reflect on who you are and when you are with or without this situation or relationship in your life. Take a moment to pause and do a full body stretch now. Release the energy that no longer serves you and feel it leave." So that could either be like a thought form, a way you think, or you don't do certain things because of this way of thinking, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a person or whatever. It could also be just a person in your past told you something and it just really dug its nails in, you know, its little barbs in, and it's in there. Excuse me. 750. Limitless love. Love yourself and others freely. Your angels are asking you to practice unconditional love today, not only for others, but for yourself as well. You can only accept as much love from the outside world as you give yourself. Time to level up the amount you're willing to receive from within. Journal about how you feel and the vulnerability that occurs when demonstrating unconditional love to yourself and others. We got a fly flying around. All right. Yeah, so in those moments where you're feeling insecure or you have these relapses of thinking, or I'm also kind of getting it's like with that release drama, you might be addicted to that feeling that comes up. Like if you feel, I don't know, let's say you're insecure about your nose. And you're like, oh, poor me, like, I'm so sick of it, like, I've been bullied by my family about it, or whatever. Or, you know, money situations, whatever. There's, like, an addiction to being in that, like, this sucks, like, I hate this, you know, whatever. The feeling of dissatisfaction with this thing. And that needs to be released. And catching yourself in that, be like, oh, I am straight up being a little whiny bag. Like, I'm addicted to this. What do we got? My hands got dry all of a sudden. Like, they don't want to grip these cards. We have the Magician in reverse and the Fool upright. It's honestly hard to let these things go. It really is. And it's something to do with your heart space. We have the, how that Magician's wearing a lot of green. And we notice that our Fool card, the little guy, the Fool, he's wearing blue. So it might be something that needs to be spoken about, talked about. Because that Magician also has red, so that's security and heart space with the green. And so there's like this continuing cycle of falling into this, feeling in that drama, that addiction that we have of the bullshit. Let's say you have a job and everyone's like, oh my God, that's such a cool job, and you hate it. Like, or it just doesn't, it brings you so much grief and it drains you and all that stuff. But you're like, but I get some stuff out of it. Like, but overall, it's not serving you. But people say, like, oh, you have such a great job. Like, wow, you're doing this. That's great. But it's not serving you. So releasing this and doing it for yourself, not for others, and taking that element out of it. Because you're still perpetuating and continuing this cycle with that Magician in reverse. You're straight up manifesting more bullshit the more you feed into this. So when you fall into that, like, oh, poor me, this sucks, I hate this, like, I'm depleted, I'm drained, whatever it is, you're still perpetuating that. You're still feeding that cycle. You're still in the hamster wheel. You're not going anywhere with it. You're just stuck. And what needs to happen is speaking about it, or that could just be saying it out loud to yourself, or journaling, talking to a friend, you know, whatever, a trusted person that has your best interest, or wouldn't, you know, they're just gonna listen and not like give you some manipulative advice or whatever, because they're living in their fear and stuff like that. Oof. One thing I have been very guilty of is like, oh, I have so many jobs. Like I work 3 jobs, and it's like this attachment, like, yeah, I work hard because, you know, as a kid, like, you know, we all slip up and we're all in our emotions, and parents will do this when they're like frustrated or upset, and they don't realize that their words have such a imprint, and you know, they won't even remember what they said, but the words that they spoke had such an imprint. Because I was like called lazy or whatever as a kid if I didn't do something, or I wanted to have fun or whatever. So I have this like constant like guilt if I hang out, or I'm not working several jobs. I'm not like proving that I'm not lazy. Ooh, the wind picked up outside. So I'm really not having to prove to anyone. Like, I know I'm not, but I deplete myself to this extent that, I mean, I'm dragging myself in this, but it's these things that need to be looked at, because it's an addiction to being dissatisfied or worn out or unhappy, because this is showing the world and this is doing things for other people. Huh. I just had a realization just now, like, wow, like, I just put, like, made the puzzle pieces for it. I was like, you know, whenever they're, like, doing the little string map where, like, this is connected, I just, like, made another connection. I was like, fuck yeah. So, I hope that happens for you. I wish that upon you, that you can make this connection and be like, that's what it is. Oh, fuck. I pray for that for you, because that would be wonderful. And that could be like you're constantly putting yourself in these situations where, in order to, like, let's say a job, um, it's like you're really good at it, but you don't love it. Like, let's say you're a salesman and you're like really good at making people feel certain emotions so they buy things, right? You're good at like that charisma and making a good time and getting them to really feel like you put them through that roller coaster of emotions. You're really good at it, but it's like super depleting to you. You're exhausted all the time. You have to drink or whatever, watch a ton of TV to like deal with the guilt of it or whatever it is. But you're like, oh, but people, I do such a good job, I make a bunch of money, but like, you don't feel that abundance when you're depleted and worn out, because then you're like, what do they call it, therapy shopping or retail therapy, because you're like, I need to fill this hole inside of me that this is creating. So like you never come out on top or like feel the abundance, or you know, you don't feel the gratitude because you're trying to stamp down feelings of guilt or, I don't know, anger, whatever it is. We have the Hierophant in reverse with the 3 of Wands. So we have, as soon as you are willing to let go of the status quo, because that Hierophant upright is the status quo, keeping things traditional, keeping things that might just be like pleasing your family, or I'm even getting, it's like, okay, let's say your grandfather was a plumber and he always said like, don't go into construction, and then your dad said that, or your mom, whoever, your parents also said that, yeah, don't go into construction, go to school, and you've always had the desire to be a plumber. And so you went to school and you got your little business degree and you are you know, chief financial officer at some fucking place that you fucking hate. And all you can think about is like, damn, like you're still curious about like the plumbing and you think about that sometimes, but you're like, oh, but I'm making so much money, my family's happy for me, they say I'm successful, but all you think about is like the plumbing or whatever. Like that was like your destiny. You were, because back in the day, part of that like coming of age and I can't think of the word that they use, but it's like where somebody becomes like an adult, they have to go, like certain tribes and certain cultures will do like the Navajos will do, the women do a run, like a all day run to like from coming out of childhood into womanhood for the women, or it's something like that, or like these boys go out and they have to kill a goat with their bare hands and skin it themselves and like deal with the what comes with that from taking a life of an animal, and like seeing the whole family like have a party you know, with the where they eat the goat, and that boy has to deal with the feeling of taking a life and but holding that burden on themselves and letting their family enjoy it. And you know, it's like that coming of age stuff. I can't quite think of the word I'm wanting to use, but you know, back in the day, like the boy would learn and watch their dad, um you know, do their trade, do their, or you know, the daughter would watch the mother and do their trade, you know, and they would learn, and that's how they would watch, they would learn work ethic, skills, all of that, and it would be some sort of coming of age because they would start working early, but also seeing that, you know, where the money comes from, where the what how this family is able to eat, you know, whatever that is. But we've got detached from that, and you have this desire to be a fucking plumber like your grandpa. Like, but you're sitting in this desk like so completely dissatisfied. And what they started was a tradition of like, don't do what I did, go to school. Like that's the tradition they began. Don't, you know, because that's what was taught over these past, you know, decades of like, go to school, that's what you have to do, go, don't do this or whatever it is. Like there was this big pressure of doing something to make them happy, and you're dissatisfied when really your desire and your built and your destiny is to be a fucking plumber. So breaking that status quo of like, oh, don't do what I did, go to school, whatever. And this is just an example, right? Breaking past that, and really what you desired was to be like, man, I want to be a plumber like my grandpa. Like, that's all I want. Breaking this status quo, breaking this like control form, this, because on this card, the Hierophant, it's an older man, like a big guy, talking to two little guys, right? So this was impressed upon you since childhood. This was what you were told to do. Oh, don't be blue collar like me. Don't work with your hands like me. You're going to break your back. You're going to do this, that, whatever. Go to school. It'll be easier on your back. You'll be so successful. Go be a lawyer. It's so much better. But you doing that wasn't your path. It wasn't your calling. It wasn't what you were built for. I kind of made the coffee a little weak. I didn't measure it. I just kind of dumped it in there. So breaking the status quo with our Three of Wands, that's rapid expansion. That's like, the Three of Wands gives that feeling of being in this waiting space. Like, you know, you have this dope ass present coming in the mail, or this dope ass purchase, or like you just signed a loan, or like you're waiting for a loan to go through so you can drive your car home. It's like that feeling. of like, you're in this waiting period of this dope thing being yours. So you're watching the little Amazon guy like coming over to your house and you're like, I'm so fucking excited. Like, this is the dopest thing. It's gonna be all mine. Whatever it is. Like, that's it. That's the feeling. You have this great, as soon as you break the status quo, you start going back to who you are and what you are truly meant to do, and recognizing that you are just going through ego or and yeah, honestly, it's ego, because if you want to make your parents happy or whatever, that's ego. Sorry, but it is. Because that's the, I need the reward that I'm good. I need to be told that I'm good. And you willing to go against the status quo. So a good example for me is all the women have these like insecurities in their life. They don't shine. I have beautiful women in my family, but there was always this like damper on it. Like my grandma especially, she would straight just like, if I ever like tried to look cute or whatever, she would like knock me down a peg, or like tell me my acne made me look like a meth head, or I had an ugly nose. Why couldn't you have blue eyes? You know, shit like that. And looking back, it's because they're that she grew up in a time where she was told not to be beautiful, not to shine and put that out there. And then, so that was dumped on my mom, you know, same thing. And so it all trickled down. You know, there was comments from my family that if I was getting like chubby or chunky, that I needed to do more chores, you know, go hand mow the pasture instead of riding the lawnmower, shit like that. There was always these comments made. And it still affects me deeply, but I'm working past that because I'm seeing it now. But it's a constant effort to catch that. Okay, so what do we do with this? What do they need to know about themselves right now? Or with this rapid expansion and where they're headed? Stay low key. So this is an inside job. Going back to this limitless love, this isn't like you coming out in, until you get that strength to where you won't let someone's comment or whatever affect you so deeply. Just stay low key and keep that within yourself, that self-love, until you're ready to put that out there. Because, you know, I mean, fuck, there's like just haters everywhere. Like, you just wake up and there's somebody like, oh, you're gonna wear that today? Or, you know, some person's got a fucking road rage on you because they are feeling out of control in their life, you know, whatever it is. I'm seeing that as like, it's an inside job first. Start internally first, and then start like putting yourself out there. Like, it's gonna feel cringy, but like hyping yourself up around other people. Like, man, I fucking crushed that shit. Like, damn, this color looks fucking good on me. Dang. Like that type of thing. Just slowly start, you know, whatever it is that you have these insecurities about or whatever it is, then start slowly putting that outwardly and speaking that into existence. Just because I'm getting that full is like speaking on it. Speaking on your insecurities, but also speaking on, like, to combat that, be like, I'm wonderful. Like, just, and that might just be like an internal conversation with yourself of like, you know what, fuck that, I'm wonderful. Like, what are, and truly believing it. Like, if you, like for me with my acne or whatever, like when I'm feeling insecure about it, that would be like, okay, I have beautiful eyes. Instead of like deflecting off of that, like not giving that attention and being like, I'm a fucking awesome welder. I'm very skilled and I have a lot of intelligence. Like, I'm really good with people, you know, like reminding yourself of that. Stay on that grind. So it is going to be a grind constantly until this thing is plucked out of you. That might just be getting like energy work. There's a shit ton of Reiki videos on YouTube for free if you can't afford to go to a practitioner. Like, and that shit works. Like, doing this on top of like, so staying on yourself diligently and internally, what your conversation in your mind about yourself and all of this and your beliefs, catching yourself and be like, I'm just being a little whiny baby right now. Like, I'm addicted to this poor me bullshit. You know, however that needs to be. If it's tough love, if it's like, oh, I'm not going to play into this drama, this internal bullshit. Like, I'm not going to feed that. Giving yourself love, reminding yourself where you're good at, what you're strong at, where your strong suits are. Because I'm definitely getting, like, there may have been some, maybe you grew up in a home where you were pinned up against other people. For me, like, there was these insidious, like, oh, well, your boy cousin is better at this. Like, he needs to be in control. And so I do think, like, there's always this, I have this, like, competition with men because, like, that's how I was raised. Like, oh, I have to be as good as the boys. It's served me. Like, don't get me wrong. It's served me and it's made me a badass, but there's this, like, I have sabotaged relationships because that was impregnated in my mind, you know, that I need to be as good as the boys or be in competition with the boys, or like somebody that's on my age level or whatever it is, like whatever it ended up being. So we all gotta admit our faults and become okay with that and let it go if you need to. Like I said, I still do it, but I'm learning not to do it in relationship. Or like friends or anything. Like, I don't need to be, it doesn't always have to be a competition. We have Cholo, codependency. Damn, all this talk about insecurities and the insecure card comes out. And we have sexist, racist, and other judgments play a role at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this shit's like super deep-seated. Like, not only is it like your generation, but it's like every family lineage before you. Like, people you've never even met. Like, that energy is still within you. Past lives, any of that shit. What is that? Yeah, with that Cholo card, I'm kind of seeing it as like there's this, because there's a lot of Cholos that bring that old school style. Like, so they got like the lowriders and like they like the cool, like the Mercuries. Oh, I can't remember what that car is, but it's got the fender that covers the wheel. But anyway, so they're into like old school stuff. So that's really attached to this old way of being. And so there's this attachment, that codependency of this old way of being. And because you're surrounded by it, you want that click, that belonging. And that's what causes this insecurity. It's like you end up being around the same people that have the same insecurities and feed into that. Like, let's say you're so attached to this codependency, this like insecurity, and you want the proof that you're right, like, because your ego's an asshole like that. So it's like, oh, see, that person made a comment about my skin, or that person made a comment about my intelligence. I knew I was shit about that. I knew they were right. That insecurity was right. So you're attaching to, you're finding these groups these people, subconsciously, of course, the energy's attracting you to this, to where you, whatever you think about yourself is getting reflected back to you. And it's really, as fucked up as it is, it's not the people that say this shit, it's not their fault. Like, the energy is there. They're living in their own shit, you're living in your own shit, and that just happened to be you magnetized to each other. Just as, like, I'm sure you reflect back, and your judgments and what you think of people are attracting someone that feels insecure about something else. How do we combat this? I mean, we're finding ideas, but what's the advice here? I get so excited. So the status quo sometimes is that you're a miserable bastard. Just gonna be real with it. You're so used to being let down and disappointed and told you're bad or whatever it is, that you have learned to become comfortable in that energy. And so there's this sabotage of like, oh, things can't be good. Things can't be awesome in my life. I just have to accept that it's going to be shit. And so there's this self-sabotage of like ruining good things. Or you start feeling good and like you went and did something that you're really proud of, and then you're like, oh, I looked like shit. My stomach was all fucked up and I was bloated and oh, I had like bad breath, you know, whatever it is. It's like you had to like ruin the thing. You had to like tarnish it a little bit. Because I'm getting, it's like when you're a kid, this happens to everybody. Like your fucking parent or sibling or whoever took care of you was in a shit ass mood and you're like super good, you're like vibing, you're, you know, they're super burdened, they're worried about money, got yelled at by their boss, they had a bad day at work, whatever it was, they're feeling like fuck this shit, bullshit, you know, whatever, and you're like la la la, having a good time, and it gets to a point that you're so loud or you're just too happy that they're like, I don't want to see you, you're not allowed to be that way because I'm not feeling that way. And that's that immaturity. And we all get lost in that because it's so easy to slip into that. So this is what happened, is like somebody knocked you down a peg when they were feeling down. And so it's like you've learned to do that to yourself. Motherfucker, this was flipped upside down. And what did I motherfucking say? I am belittled at home. Damn. I love when that shit works out. Like, that's literally what I just said. You were belittled at home. You were knocked down a peg when somebody else was grouchy because they didn't want you to feel light, happy, whatever. They wanted to dump that burden off on somebody. And that's just, you happen to be the easiest target, the closest target. You make me nervous. Yeah, and that's just, I get so excited, you make me nervous. So it's like you have these great moments and you feel confident, but it's like that happened to you as a kid or in your past, whatever the fuck, where you did feel solid and good and great things were, you were like, yeah, I'm really proud of myself for doing this. And it's like somebody was in a shit mood and wanted to dump that burden on you. And so you've learned that, oh, that's just gonna come every time. So you get small, or you don't allow yourself to be out there, be confident, be shining. So catch yourself in those moments. Anything else before we let off? How funny, I was saying that you have a desk job but you want to be a plumber, and we have the white collar card at the bottom of the deck. Give. This is you giving to yourself and not feeling like catching yourself in those self-sabotaging or like that bracing of I was reading this book and like one of the characters, she got in trouble or she like messed up, And she thought she was so used to getting like hit if she messed up that her teacher was like, whoa, like, why do you think I'm gonna hit you? What the fuck? So it's like catching yourself when you're bracing in that and being like, whoa, we don't have to be there. I'm allowed to give to myself. I'm allowed to have like a wonderful time. I'm allowed to feel light and happy and whatever, confident in myself. I can give that to myself. And anything otherwise is codependency, because I need the reassurance that I'm a good person, that my family loves me, whatever it is. But checking, that's going to be all love inside. And that's hard. I'm not saying any of this is easy. Like, we have the stay on the grind card for a reason. It's fucking work. But you are allowed to feel confident. You are allowed to feel happy and light. You are allowed to feel relaxed. And give yourself that permission constantly. I'm okay. I don't need to perform. I don't need to be whatever the fill in the blank. Limitless love, baby. 750. And we have 564, release drama. I'm gonna end it there, babies. I'm really proud of you. I hope you keep doing this work, and you deserve the world. You deserve to feel relaxed and confident and happy. Okay? I love you. Bye.